name is Abdul Rahman. I'm a lecturer at a public university in Kenya. I deliver lectures in computing and informatics. In our last lesson, we talked about opening up a file using the inbuilt function of file open, and we have seen in that particular demonstration actually we had opened up an existing file and we append some data. Today we are going to start up onto a new topic, and we are going to ask a question: how to read up a file. So onto that particular journey, we are going to define or describe how are we going to read up a file, and then we are going to take up a syntax and finally implement the same. So let us start on that particular journey onto it. So basically what we are saying, it's very simple and straightforward, that reading up a file, we actually use again the file open. So in reading up a file, we are using up the file open. So this is the file open function which we are going to use. However, the file open function, it is found into standard input .h file. However, for us to open it for reading, we have to have a mode which is called R. So basically, in this particular mode, then we'll be able only to read. It is what we call a read only mode. So onto that takes us to the syntax, and the syntax basically we have to have a pointer, and this particular pointer must be of type file. So if our pointer it is file ptr, and then we are having up actually our pointer which is going to be assigned into our inbuilt function file open, and then into it we are having what we call up the file name, and we are having up the mode R. So basically this is the syntax, and in that particular syntax it is whereby our file name, it is the actual file with the full path, and our R is what we call up the read mode. In our previous lesson, we have seen that there are so many ways to open up a file. You can open up a file into a read mode, into a write mode, into an append mode. And for text file, actually there are around 6 modes which we have discussed into our last session. So onto that particular note, basically let's take up an example. So an example will be, if I have my pointer fptr, I want to assign it to the file open, and then here I'll have my file. Let's take for example that particular file of mine. It is in C and it is called example.txt. so it will be on bracket, and then I'll open it for read into R mode. So basically this is the example of the syntax. Now let's go to the C++ and try now to implement the same. So basically here we are having up our file, into our drive. This is our file C program, and we have got 3 files here. So we want to open up and read this particular file which calls file operation. So the file operation, it's a very big file with so many data onto it. So we want actually to read all of this particular data using up dev C++. So let's go and try and see if actually we can actually read this particular data. So let's go here and put up some code. So we'll have, first of all, we have to have a pointer. So our pointer will call it an FP. After having up our pointer, we are going to have some array which is going to hold our content. So we'll have up our content, and we have seen that it's a very big content, so the size, maybe we put it up at 400. After putting up that particular file onto 400, then we go and say printf, and onto that particular printf, we are putting up a message just telling opening the file for reading. So that a message will come up that we're opening up our file for reading, and then now we are assigning up our pointer FP, and then we say file open. And what are we opening? We are opening up our file. We are opening up our file, and this is our file which we are opening up. It is this one, file open. So this is the file we are trying to open. So let's open up this particular file, which is actually in C program. So this particular file, we say C because it is in C, and the name of the folder, it is C program. And we have to put up the full length of to it. It is in C program, and into C the name is called file operation.txt, and we are opening for what particular purpose? So the next part we are opening up for read. So we are just going actually to read and do nothing about it. So after that, we are putting up an if statement. If this particular file it is null, which is not, so if p equals to null, then do something. Then do what? Then give us a message. So we say printf. The message will just be printf. What do we want to print? We want to tell our user, actually you could not open up the file. So could not open the file. So we're going to tell up the user that we couldn't open up the file. So basically that will be our message. We could not open up a file. However, we have to put up an else. If we couldn't open up a file, then what will we do? Then basically, if you could not open up a file, so we are going to say printf. Actually, the file is open. So here we'll say the file is open for reading. So the file is open for reading. So that will be our message that now the file, it is actually open up for reading. So for us to read, we have actually to put up a while loop to go through each and every word into it. So we are going to use up a while loop, and also we are going to use up the fgets, which is going to get up all our words. And the syntax we have seen up in a previous lesson. Now the fgets takes up the content and take up the size, which was 400, and it takes up our pointer, which was fp. So basically that will loop through each and every part of it, but we have to say this particular loop has to stop somewhere. So I'll put not equal to what? Not equal to null. So basically when it's going to loop, it has to stop up somewhere. So we are saying not equal to null. And from there, so now we do our printing. So we do our printing by reading up onto the file. So we are saying printf. What are we printing? Actually it is %s and our content. So that is what we'll be actually reading. So now we continue with our else statement, and that particular else statement, now we continue, and here we are saying printf. What are we printing? We are saying basically now the file it is closed. So here we are saying actually the file now it is closed. Now we are saying closing the file. So basically here we'll be closing up the file, and onto that basically we are going to bring up our function to close up a file, which is f close, and we're putting up our pointer, which is fp. So basically this, it is what we are supposed to do and come up to read this particular file which is inside here. So let us run this particular code and see if it is going to actually read onto our file. So let us run this particularly been read here. So here we are saying actually opening up a file for reading, and the file is open for reading, and this is the content, the mode of operation on a file, and there are so many words, and then finally closing up a file for reading. So basically this is how we have demonstrated reading up a file using up what you call the fgets, and using up what you call the file open. However, we are coming up to the end of this particular session. Don't forget to subscribe until our next session. For now, I say bye.